Yeah, man. Nobody touches this mic ever again, man.
This video has been sponsored by Squarespace. Hey guys, if you're looking to stand out and run your online business with ease, you need to be involved with Squarespace. We'll talk more Squarespace later on.
Jeez, I'm performing in a green screen, man. Yo, one time I've actually done a show one time where like there was a crowd behind me. I was opening for Michael Blackson, and for some reason the promoter decided to like sell seats behind them. I was like, yo, those are like Groupon tickets, man. I'm like, it was Groupon tickets. I'm like, who would pay good money to see the back of a nigga's head for an hour and a half, dog? And the man was just saying, motherfucker. But nah, this is a green screen, man. This is Groupon Plus, man. Yeah, I did my bachelor's in communications, man. Honestly, a fairly useless degree, but look at me now, man. Performing in a green screen, man. Game changer, man. I did a public speaking course for my bachelor's communications, man. And interesting, man. It was an 8:30 class. I showed up mad early. Okay, never mind. That was a lie. I showed up mad late, and I had my durag on. It was raining outside, and I had my hood over my durag. And I walked in, and my instructor was like, "Are you ready to do your presentation?" I said, "Yeah, I'm good to go." She's like, "But you can't do your presentation with your hood on." And I said, all right, no problem. So I took off my hood, and she saw my durag underneath, and she was like, I don't know why white women do this with their voice. You know what I'm talking about? Where they she goes, "Can I talk to you outside for a minute?" You know that thing? I don't know what that unaudible frequency is. "Can I talk to you outside for a minute?" And I was like, yeah, no problem. And we go outside, and she's talking to me, and she goes, is that a part of your religion? I didn't know what to do, but I looked into the crack of the door, and one of my classmates, he has a turban. And I looked at my teacher, and I looked back at him, and his fist was like this, man. And I looked at her and I said, well, hell yeah, man. I went and I started my presentation with I threw the PowerPoint slide over there, and my durag was tied in the back too. I had the knot in the back, but out of respect for the homie, I brought it to the front. I was in Vancouver. One of these videos my boy made on TikTok went viral of me. It was like the Friends with Benefits thing. I was just chilling at the beach. Me and my boys were just big chilling. We were balling up and having a good time. And then a couple girls came up to us and they were like, oh my God, are you that guy? And I was like, yeah. I'm like, I'm him, like, I don't know who, but I'm like, I'm him, man. Take me there. And they're like, yeah, man, can we take a picture with you? I said, for sure, no problem. I had no idea what the picture was for, but I said, yeah, man. We took it, flicked it up. And as they're walking away, I heard her homegirl go, she goes, who is that? And the girl goes, that's Trey from 4 Y'all Entertainment, man. My dogs were calling me 4 Less Entertainment in the group chat for the longest time, man. One of the biggest bombs I've ever did, I was performing in London, UK. And I messaged a friend who messaged another friend and got me a spot on a show. I was very eager to just perform stand-up. Apparently this show was like a Caribbean night. Imagine like everybody in the crowd, Jamaican, all over the age of 40. And this is like Jamaican Rastas, like again, Jamaican Pro Plus, you know? Maybe 2 minutes into my set, I said the N-word and they all kissed their teeth at the same time. Just, again, no social awareness at the time. I was just like, continue on with my jokes. Dude, where you're sitting, he crossed his arm, his brethren next to him, turned his chair around. For another 2 minutes, I was talking to Dreadlocks, man. Just the back of Dreadlocks, man. And I said, yo, I never did this before. I asked him, I said, yo, should I just leave? You know what I mean? I was like, oh, should I just leave? And then one guy in the very back goes, yeah, man. And the thing about Jamaicans, too, they don't boo you off stage, man. They'll applaud you. They'll be like, yeah, man, good try, man. I thought I headlined, man. I was like, yeah, man, I just sold out. These guys were acting like I was eating pork in front of them, man. You know what I mean? I was doing shows in... Have you guys ever been to like Calgary and Edmonton and them places? Calgary, I had a lot of fun, man. They don't have like much happening. You know what's cool though? I'm not gonna lie. Okay, aside from Calgary and Edmonton, it's cool. The cool thing about going to stand-up comedy, doing stand-up comedy in like other places, like small cities, is like they just treat you like you're like a superhero, like a savior. Like, yo, thank you so much for coming to Calgary. I'm like a doctor without borders. You know what I mean? You didn't have to come. I said, I needed the money, man. I'm here for a purpose, man. I've been having a good time with comedy, man. It's in Toronto too. Toronto is such a beautiful place, man. And the journey that I've had so far with stand-up, it started off with like a lot of like the East African community, the Muslim community, of course, popping out to a lot of these shows at first. I was doing shows where I was like inviting other people to come through. I was only doing like maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes on these spots or whatever. It's in bars and lounges or whatever. And fam, I had hijabis pulling up to bars and lounges. I'm like, what are you guys drinking, man? I'm leaning, I'm at the bar, I'm like, yo. So, and then a lot of people are telling me, yo, fam, I'm trying to come to your show, but I can't come to these spaces. So I was like, okay, you know what? For the last year, better part of like a year and some change, I've just been booking my own venues on random days. So like even on a weekday, because it's so hard to find places on a Saturday, or like a traditional comedy club, they'll run it up on you too. They'll be like, oh man, you need to pay $1,200 to rent the space and then make another $2,500 at the bar. You know, and imagine me inviting a bunch of these Muslims like, yo, listen, man, you better get that rum and coke or whatever, man. Just skip it. Just toss the rum, man. Just go like this, you know? So for the last year, I've been just like doing these shows in like random venues and people have been pouring into me. And like Toronto's, again, such an eclectic group of people. Even the Desi community, these guys come out, man. These guys, the Desi community, they pour into each other. I noticed, like, I love seeing Desi guys at my show because I've already seen them all on Facebook Marketplace. You know what I'm talking about, man. Those guys on Facebook, they don't even bargain anymore. I put a couch on Facebook Marketplace for $100. It was like a relatively new, like, IKEA couch. Like, if you really want real dopamine, man, forget social media. Forget Instagram, Snapchat, forget Twitter. Put a couch on Facebook. Put an apartment on Facebook Marketplace. The messages are pouring, man. After 20 minutes of having this up, I had at least 50 messages on Facebook. Is this still available? And Indian dudes, they don't even bargain with you no more, dog. They be like, yo, I'll take it for $10 right now. And he said, take it or leave it. And I thought, I'm like, I have it. Like, what are you talking about? I have it already, man. HR is crazy. HR is useless, though. I think they are, man. HR is like, they're like the UN. You know what I mean? They know all the world's problems. Can't solve one of them. Come on, man. Let's figure it out, man. Whenever somebody and they try to tell you like, oh man, HR is the people that fire you, right? Oh man, when you do something bad at work, oh man, you're gonna have to talk to HR. That's an empty threat to me. That's like HR is like a stop sign at 2 a.m. You know what I mean? I'm yielding through that bitch. I'm like, let's go, man. And the reason why I don't rock with HR is because like when I started working at Nordstrom's, my hair was mad long. I had braids when I started working the job, and I couldn't like keep that up. So for 3 months though, I had a new hairstyle every month. Single braids, cornrows, twists. When you're creating a player on 2K, that's what I look like to my coworkers. They're like, oh man, new character every month, man. I like this guy. So one day I said, man, I'm going supernatural, man. I let the hair out. I look like Stretch from Street Volume 3, man. That's for the man, them. You know what I mean? White people, Bob Ross. Bob Ross, that's your king. Relatable, dude. My manager, she came up to me. She's like, oh my God, Hassan, I love your hair. And I'm like, oh, thank you. She goes, but how long are you planning on keeping it like that? I said, relax, Amanda. Your racism is showing. And Amanda's not even white, man. Her name is Amandeep, you know what I mean? I was like, yo, what's wrong with this industry plant, man? I miss when racism was like exclusive, Now it's all inclusive, like a resort. Every BIPOC. I don't know if you guys listen to BIPOC, man, but like, yeah, man, I think we should approach BIPOC the same way we do bedmass. You know what I mean? We start with the brackets first, and then, okay, a lot of people took applied math. Okay, man. I see. You're on the bed, man. I don't know what comes after it, but hey, man, that's where we're on, man. We start with the brackets first, Brody. And then there was an Asian girl in the crowd one time, and she was looking confused. I said, how are you confused? And she's like, P. And I was like, in parentheses, pad mass. I was like, oh man, dog. And I told you guys earlier, I had a bunch of jobs. What if I told you at that shift when I was working at Nordstrom's? I got into 15 minutes into my shift, I noticed loss prevention was following. But me, I have like double down energy, man. I went into every department. I grabbed one thing from every department. I started running through the store. They cornered me. It started off with one LP agent. They cornered me at 3. They're like, oh man, we got you cornered. Turn around, put everything down. And I turned around. I said, nigga, I work here, man. And they were like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean that. I said, That's my favorite type of guilt. My favorite white guilt is when they start touching their knees and shit. These kids are like, man, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean, please don't do anything. Please don't go to. I said, go to who? They like, go to. I said, we're going to HR, man. Oh, man. And what did HR do? Nothing, man, because they're useless, man. They promoted them. These guys are police officers now or some shit. Good time, man.
You have an online business you want to run. Squarespace has the tools for that kind of stuff. Stand out in any inbox with top-of-the-line, pristine, gorgeous, inviting emails to your customers. Get a better understanding of the traffic flowing to your website. Find out what's working, what's not working.
Why are there so many Australians coming to my website?
Get a load of this. Flexible website templates. Listen, I'm not a website guy. Maybe you're not a website person either. Squarespace says it's okay. Get started with one of the professional website templates. Many designs, many categories, great customization, update content, and add whatever features your heart desires for your website. To get you started, slide over to squarespace.com for a free trial. Once you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/4YE to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Nice. Relatable, dude.